Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. My Dallas Cowboys go to 3-0, 31-6 victory over the Miami Dolphins, 20 and a half point spread. Cowboys managed to have gain some momentum in the second half and cover it anyway after, we were up 10 to 6. Everything that seemingly could go wrong and just wasn't crisp, it wasn't sharp on our behalf. But I texted my boy at halftime. I said, "Look, man, the way football works, the way this thing goes sometimes, I'm telling you, I'm going to come out, I'm going to cover this thing and put these teams like this away." And so just going into it, another week where we do come out with a relatively slow start. I know, slow start for us. We did get up 10 to 0 pretty quick, but in terms of just the juice, some of the crisp stuff, getting in down and distance scenarios, penalties being issued today, 8 penalties, 100 yards. Those are some things we'll have to get cleaned up through this week as we start to get into a more challenging part of our schedule. We got New Orleans next week, Green Bay afterwards. So as we start to play some of the better teams, those things, we can't let things like that deter us from what we're trying to do and what we're trying to get accomplished. Now, I will say this, because I'm going to get into the Taco Charlton stuff and all the drama between us and Miami this week. And not just drama, but just a lot of storylines back and forth. Us with Robert Quinn, then with Taco Charlton. But I love the fact that we have great mental toughness on this football team. And that starts with my quarterback, Dak Prescott. He had some missed throws. He had a really bad interception. But they come back from negative plays very, very quickly, and they're able to put those things behind them. In the second half, we come out in the third quarter, we have a 74-yard touchdown to Randall Cobb, which ends up having to come back because Connor Williams gets called for holding in conjunction with the face mask on Cobb and the penalties offset. But then we keep going. Devin Smith, 33-yard pass, and then ultimately we get Amari Cooper in the end zone. So when you're looking at how we rebound after negative plays, that is very, very encouraging to see with this football team, regardless of who we're playing. The Cowboys have no impact on playing the Giants, Redskins, and Dolphins their first three games. That's just the way the schedule was created. This isn't college football where we're scheduling Lamar and people like that, right? I'm looking at how we rebound from certain situations. I'm looking at the fact that we started to get an uptick in our pass rush a little bit at the end of the game. I liked what I saw. Started seeing from Robert Quinn, especially in the second half. His first game back from suspension. I really like what I saw today from DeMarcus Lawrence. He's starting to look healthier and more like himself from a pass rush perspective. I think he's been pretty good against the run, but starting to see it pick up on both sides. Malik Collins continues to impress me throughout, and I really liked one guy that really stood out for me at the end of the game. Joe Jackson, our one of our draft picks out of Miami. He really impressed me with his presence in his rush, batting some balls on the line of scrimmage. And they started to make things very difficult for Josh Rosen. You guys heard Jason Garrett talk about at halftime. We're around him, but we're not sacking him and we're not getting him on the ground. And they were able to at least change that and get consistent pressure. But defensively, still a little frustrating. I still feel like we're not capitalizing on turnover opportunities. There was a fumble punt today that we let go out of bounds. There's still some opportunities to get some interceptions. I know, Xavier Woods is out for a while and Darian Thompson's starting in his place, but regardless of who's back there, there's opportunities where the balls are flying around or tip pass or whatever, and we have to convert those into turnovers. That will only help our offense even more. And we have an offense right now that is humming, guys. Three straight games over 30 points. Today you have two running backs go over 100 yards. Dak Prescott continues to just murder everybody in the third quarter. It's really impressive to watch Kellen Moore now come out of halftime. I was talking to Matthew before we started filming, and he was like, "Wow, gone are the days of Scott Linehan where we just keep beating our head against the door." And I totally agree. You know, the I like how they came out to kill, and because I felt like there was a misplaced aggression with us in the first half where we were throwing the ball downfield, but we weren't really attacking how we should be, and then we came out and found holes. Dak Prescott, one of the things that impressed me today, good ball placement when he got going and was really sharp, throwing the ball over guys' shoulders. Even the Randall Cobb play that didn't count, the Devin Smith play. Just giving guys an opportunity not just to catch the ball, but to run upfield and get yards after the catch. These are all positive things that we saw today that, again, encouraging signs moving forward for our football team. I'm crazy excited to be 3-0. And I know the opponents or whatever, but when you start off with 2 division wins and then you're playing another desperate team, I have no idea what we're going to get out of Miami. They go with the desperation move to start Josh Rosen, who, by the way, looked competent today. More than competent, he looks like he has some things and tools that he can work with on his side. But the Miami roster is terrible. Their team is terrible. And you know signs of a bad football team when you get down there and you miss a field goal. Kenyon Drake's fumble right before the half, which could have totally turned this football game around if Miami was able to go into the halftime with the lead. And it goes to show you how quickly a football game can get away from you. The brother that was offsides on the onside kick. You see a team that can't get out of their own way. Dallas did play down to that to some degree. I even thought, like, even on the Dak Prescott interception, where he's buying time. He has all day. Everything's blocked up, and he's kind of on a scramble drill. It was so arrogant of him because of the opponent. It's like, you know what? I'm going to try to force it anyway. And just being cognizant of the situation and saying, I got to live to play another down. No need to put the ball in harm's way. Now, we didn't pay for it because Miami ended up punting when they got change of possession. But just things like that to be mindful of. I don't think we're coming out with that same mindset when we play teams like the Saints or the Rams or whoever else later down the road. So, what more can we ask for to the start of this season as Cowboys fans coming in? I think many of us thought they should start 3-0 when we looked at these football teams, when you looked at the quarterbacks that we would have to face early this season. But we've done it in an impressive manner to cover a 20.5-point spread, to have 3 straight blowouts. Games have not been in doubt, haven't been playing down in the competition over 4 quarters. These are all very good things and nothing more we can ask for. Now, nitpick-wise, I already covered the turnovers on defense. I'd also like to see the linebackers get a little bit more involved. I like Joe Thomas today. I thought he played well. But, Vander Esch started to show some signs. Jalen was good, but we have to do a better job following guards, diagnosing screens, and making plays behind the line of scrimmage. That's the next thing I want to see from my linebackers as we continue to get this defense some confidence. I think one of the issues our defense is facing personally is their confidence has been down since that Rams playoff game. And they're still trying to and I know that sounds crazy because we held an opponent to 6 points today, but again, we're now playing against ourselves in a lot of ways and having to defend against complacency and trying to get their juice back up. All that hot boys talk you guys heard at the end of last season when they were flying around, where they were getting fumble returns for touchdowns and picks and all that type of stuff. We got to get this group, because they have the talent there. They have the talent, they have the speed. And I know Xavier Woods was gone. I know Anton Woods was gone. Get all that. But we got to get them back coming. Last thing I want to touch on before we finish up, the running backs. Ezekiel Elliott is now all the way back midseason form. I love the fact that he's not getting a whole bunch of touches, but he's getting efficient touches. This is what I commented on before the season started with the shift in the offense. It's not quantity, it should be quality. It's the Todd Gurley approach in Sean McVay's offense. You don't have to force feed somebody the ball to get them 100, 150 plus yards. And you saw the stat today that they showed during the game. Last season, he was responsible for 34% of our offense. Now that number's down to 19%. But I would also argue that it's even more effective because we're able to run out the clock and really balance ourselves. It seems like we're throwing the ball a lot, but when you look at today, we had 34 runs and 32 pass attempts. So we're still very, very balanced. It's just that we flipped that script. Instead of running to set up the pass, we're passing to set up our run to win. And it's good complementary football considering the situation of the game. So, guys, overall, I'm really excited about my Dallas Cowboys. And I'm excited Sunday night next week good opportunity. I know it's backup quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, but you see how impressive New Orleans has looked today in Seattle. At the time this filming, they're late in the fourth quarter, and New Orleans is up comfortably. So, hey, it's going to be a big challenge for us going into the Superdome and coming out with a dub. But I believe in this football team. I believe in the talent, and hopefully, Dak Prescott can, not only get his contract, but that number's going up. So, guys, what better day to have the Cowboys win, Eagles lose, and the rest of the division is starting to kind of tank a little bit. So, appreciate you guys. Looking forward to the comments about anything I may not have touched on in this particular video or anything else you guys want to discuss. Great start to the season, guys. Appreciate y'all.